everyone, thanks a million for joining me on the mat this morning. We are continuing with the theme of twist and release. Okay, so we're thinking about twisting, compressing, and on our exhales, we're releasing and letting everything go. Okay, so a strong enough practice this morning, but I do want you to really focus on your exhales, just trying to press any little bit of tension out of the body using the breath. So getting right down to the depths of the belly here. So we were talking about breath work last week. So we're trying to get the full capacity, and it's a really nice way to explore them when we're doing our twists, because we're thinking about it all the time. Again, starting our twists toward the lower back where we've got least movement, then moving it into the rib cage or the thoracic spine, then into the chest, then into the neck. So we're getting that full body movement, and it's a really nice way to focus it on our breath. So think about starting the breath into the belly and then drawing it up through the rest of the body. So I'm not going to talk too much, but we'll get right into it. So we're actually going to start on our knees, sitting back on our heels this morning. So again, you can tuck the toes under. If you feel a wee bit crunchy in the knees, you can always place a little towel underneath the joint itself, or you can place a little towel underneath the knees, just on the mat. Lovely. And again, just sitting back on the heels, getting a nice little stretch into the arches here. So I know if you're tight in the hips, tight in the quads, you might find this a little bit uncomfortable. So again, you can come off the knees a little bit if you want. We're going to open the palms to the ceiling. We're going to draw the shoulders up toward the ears and then draw them together down the spine. And we're just going to do that a few more times. Just get a nice little bit of space into the chest, into the shoulder joints, and then we'll reverse it in the other direction. So now we're getting that space in between the shoulder blades. Excellent. And then come into stillness here. We're going to inhale the arms out, reaching up, interlock fingers, press the palms to the ceiling, and as we exhale, press the palms forward, releasing through the shoulder blades. We'll do that twice more. Inhale, arms out, reaching up, gaze goes up, interlocking fingers, press the palms forward and release. Last one. Again, really try to bring those arms right back by the ears, and then nice big stretch forward between those shoulders. From here, we're going to come up onto the knees, so the hips are just over the knees here. And we just bring the knees apart, so they're about hip width distance apart, so maybe like a fist between the knees, and you can keep those toes tucked under. Palms open to the front of the room, and we're going to inhale the arms out, reaching up. As we exhale, we're going to twist all the way to the right as far as we can go, and then we're going to drop that right hand back to touch the left heel. If it doesn't get there, touch the back of the leg. From here, we're going to extend fully through that left arm, reaching through the fingertips. And as we exhale, gently press the hips forward and take that gaze over the right shoulder. So we're inhaling, lengthening through the left arm. And as we exhale, get a little bit more release into the front of the body here. So gentle twist. See how that lower back feels. So if you feel like you're crunching into the lower back, try to engage those tummy muscles a little bit more. So really sucking that belly button in toward the back of the spine. One more breath. Gently lean back toward the heels just to release, and then we're going to inhale that right arm back up to meet the left, and as we exhale, we're going to twist all the way to the left as far as we can go, and then drop those left fingertips down to touch the right heel or the back of the leg. We're going to inhale, extend actively through that right arm. As we exhale, reach the right fingertips behind as we press the hips forward and take that gaze over the left shoulder. Think about using that connection of the left fingertips on the foot or on the leg to draw the body a little bit more into that twist. So we're trying to get the chest almost parallel to the left side of the room. One more breath here, really active through those fingertips. And then gently lean back to release, and then inhale back to center. And then exhale, hands to heart. Lovely. We're going to bring both hands to the hips. We're going to step that right foot out to the right. Really pressing the outer blade of the foot into the mat, and then check in that that hip is over the left knee here. Keeping the right hand on the waist, we're going to inhale left arm up. And as we exhale, we're going to extend that left arm overhead to the right as we press the hip to the left. See if we can draw that arm right back by the ear, so we're not reaching out in front of the body, and maybe even taking the gaze up toward the fingertips. As we inhale, reach actively through the left fingertips. As we exhale, see if we can hinge a little bit more to the right as we press that hip to the left. One more breath here. Feel that nice release of the inner right thigh. And then gently inhale back to center. And as we exhale, we're going to place that left hand down beside us, fingertips point away. We're going to inhale the right foot off the ground. Keep that right foot nice and active. So you can come to the fingertips if you need, or flat down onto that left hand. See if you can really turn on that glute muscle, that right bum muscle, to get that leg to lift. See if we can keep those tummy muscles engaged. We might even extend that arm up toward the ceiling, and we might take the gaze up. We're going to hold it here, nice and active through that leg for 3, for 2, and 1. Gently rest the foot down. We're going to extend that right arm overhead. This time though, we're going to bring that right foot as far back behind as we can and reach that right arm back. So we're getting a lovely full extension into the right side of the body, starting at the front of the body. Again, we might take the gaze back toward the fingertips. We're going to hold it here for 3, for 2, and 1. Bringing the foot and the arm back to center. We're going to rest that right hand on the waist. Engage the core to slowly draw ourselves back to center. We're going to bring that right knee in to meet the left. Same deal on the other side. We're going to step that left foot out. Again, try to keep that hip bone over the knee. Keep pressing the hips forward all the time. Outer blade of the foot pressed into the ground. Left hand comes to the waist. We're going to inhale, right arm up. And as we exhale, we're going to reach that right arm all the way over to the left. Nice and active. Draw that arm right back by the ear. And we might gently take the gaze up toward the fingertips. As we inhale, again, lengthen through the arm. As we exhale, hinge a little bit more to the left. As we press that right hip to the right. One more breath here. Really stretching into the side waist. And then inhale back to center. And then exhale, rest that right hand down beside us, fingertips point away. Again, really focus on drawing the heart open here and pressing the hips forward. We're going to inhale the left foot off the ground. Again, try to keep the left foot nice and active, drawing the toes toward the knee. And again, notice how it feels on this side. Is that glute switching on? I know my one's a little bit weaker this side. So it's really challenging yourselves to keep that lift, engaging the muscle. Again, we might extend that left arm up toward the ceiling, open the heart, and maybe take the gaze up for 3, for 2, and 1. Gently release that leg, extend that left arm overhead to the front of the room. And then from here, we're going to step that left foot back as far as we can go. We can land on the toe and then extend that left arm back overhead, pressing the hips forward. Again, feel that nice little bit of space into the side waist, into those lats. So our lat muscles are something that we really want to focus on to help keep that core nice and stable. So we're stretching into it. We're going to be engaging a little bit into it further on. One more breath. And then gently bring the foot back, arm back. We're going to bring that left hand back to the waist, engage the core, and slowly bring ourselves up to center. Left knee comes to meet the right. From here, we're going to lie back onto our mats. Just check in that you have your towel within reach. So lying back onto the mat, feet are flat, knees are bent to start with. We're going to hug the right knee into the chest, extend fully through that left foot. Left hand stays in the shin, right arm extends out in line with the shoulder. We're going to shift the hips a little bit to the right and then draw that right leg across the body to the left, coming into a little spinal twist. The left hand can rest on the outer thigh, and maybe we might need to shift those hips a little bit more to the right until we can get that right sit bone to stack on top of the left. Gaze is over the right fingertips, flat arm, flat shoulder, flat hand. So we're really gluing that right arm into the ground. We're just resting that left hand on the outer thigh, but even just that extra little bit of weight, feeling that lovely release into the right glute, into the lower back, and all throughout the spine. So as we inhale, really draw that breath deep into the belly. And as we exhale, release lower back, middle back, upper back, and then bring that gaze all the way over to the right. Again, just wringing out the spine here, really enjoying that release. Try to keep that right knee up in line with the hip. One more breath. Lovely, and then gently we're going to draw it back to center. From here, we're going to reach for our towel, keep that right knee hugged in. And we're going to wrap it around the ball of that right foot. So we're going to work a little bit into the hamstring here. So I want you to be conscious if you're recovering from injury, if you're over-lengthened, or if you're really tight, do keep a little bend to the knee. As we inhale, we're going to press the sole of the foot up toward the ceiling. And as we exhale, we're going to draw the toes toward the face. Hug those elbows in toward the waist and keep that chest nice and open. So we're not rolling up toward the foot here. And again, notice how that hamstring feels. So we want to feel the stretch into the belly of the muscle, not near the joint. So not underneath the kneecap, not near the sit bone. And if we're feeling it there, just drop the leg a little bit more, press away through the heel and feel that stretch a little bit more into the lower leg until that hamstring is ready. So often what we stretch into can sometimes be over lengthened, particularly in the hamstrings if we're tight in the hips. So it's really important that we're super conscious of how that stretch feels, if it needs to be stretched at all. So it's a nice engagement. We should actually be able to hold the foot up here, just let go of the towel and hold that stretch. So allow the towel get you into the stretch, but then with the strength of the muscle, it's a lot safer then to see if you could actually hold that engagement. Lovely. We're going to bring the grip with the right hand to the towel, extend the left arm out in line with the shoulder, palm down, and then gently allow that right foot drop out to the right. Taking the gaze over the left fingertips, so we're pressing away through the right heel, drawing the toe toward the face, so we're working into the second belly of our hamstring group here. Again, if you find that left hip bone is coming off the ground, you can always place the left hand onto the hip bone. Feel that lovely little bit of space into the front of the pelvis, the inner thigh. Again, the more you flex that right foot, the more you're going to feel it into the lower leg. One more breath here. And then gently, with control, we're going to inhale it back to center. Reverse the grip, left hand grips the towel, right arm extends it in line with the shoulder, palm down. We're going to shift the hips just a little bit to the right, and then allow that right leg drop across the body to the left. Again, we might need to shift the hips a little bit more until we can get that right hip stacked on top of the left. We're pressing away through the heel. So again, we're working into the third belly of our hamstring group here, where we're also incorporating a little twist. So as you inhale, think about lengthening through the spine, really press it away through that left foot, really lengthening through the neck. And as we exhale, again, we're twisting from the lower back, middle back, upper back, and again, taking that gaze over the right fingertips. So full body twists here. If it feels a little bit too intense, you can always bring a wee bend into that right knee. So again, it's a stretch that we're not so used to going into, so listen to your body. One more breath. And then gently, we're going to inhale back to center, hug that right knee in. We're going to hug the left knee in to meet it. We can drop off the towel for now. And then we're going to extend out fully through the right foot. Keep the right hand on the shin, left arm extends out in line with the shoulder, palm down. We're going to shift the hips to the left and then draw that left leg across the body to the right, coming into our spinal twist. Again, we might need to shift those hips a little bit more to the left so we can get that nice stacking option. Left hip on top of right, and try to have both hips down the midline of the mat. We're going to take the gaze over the left fingertips, and again, really consciously keeping that left shoulder drawn down so that we can really explore that lovely twist right up into the chest and neck. Right hand rests on the outer thigh. As we inhale, lengthen through the spine, again, press away through the right foot. And as we exhale, twisting, starting in that lower back, and bringing it all the way up to the neck. Think about releasing and letting go on every exhale, even if it means sighing it out. So do what feels good to you. Any tension that we're holding, not just in the glute, not just in the spine, anywhere in the body, just think about releasing it all out in that exhale. Lovely. We're going to inhale back to center. Again, keeping the left knee hugged in, we're going to reach for a towel. Wrap it around the ball of that left foot. Again, be conscious of those hamstrings. We're going to inhale, press the sole of the foot up toward the ceiling. As we exhale, draw the toes toward the face. So we're looking at about an 80 to 90 degree angle for our normal range of motion. We're not looking for anything beyond that. And again, if that's too much, you can always drop the foot a little bit, press away through the heel and just explore that lovely stretch into the lower part of the leg, while still touching into those fibers in the hamstring, but just not overextending. And again, we should be able to keep that foot where it's at by letting go of the towel. So we should be able to hold that. So we're strengthening as we stretch. So it's a lot safer of a stretch. So we're not just relying on that pull of the towel. We can get the towel to help us into the stretch and then see if we can hold. One more breath here. We're going to bring the grip just into the left hand, extend right arm out in line with the shoulder, and then slowly exhale that left foot out to the left as far as we can go. Taking the gaze over the right fingertips. Again, keep that right hip grounded to the earth, and if you need to place the right hand onto the hip to coax it down. And we're pressing away through that left heel. We're drawing the toes toward the face. Every exhale, just allow that leg drop out a little bit more. And again, if you need to bend into the knee, please do. So listen to your body. It's usually going to be a better teacher than I am. One more breath here. Just really enjoy that lovely release into the inner thigh. And then inhale gently back to center. We're going to reverse the grip. Right hand grips the towel, left arm extends out in line with the shoulder, palm down. We're going to shift the hips to the left and then allow that left leg drop across the body to the right. And again, we might need to shift the hips a little bit more to the left so we can really explore that full length of the twist. Press it away through the left heel, draw the toes toward the face. And again, if you need to keep a little bend to that knee. So don't overdo it, especially first thing in the morning. You're just warming up into the muscles and joints. Just preparing the body for the day. Again, keep that left shoulder grounded and keep that gaze over the left shoulder. So we're bringing that twist the full length of the spine. One more breath. And then gently, we're going to inhale up back to center. Hug the left knee in. We can drop the towel off to the side. Hug the right knee in to meet it. We're going to hug both knees really tight into the chest. Keep that lower back grounded onto the mat. And as we exhale, we're going to draw both knees outside the line of the body. Again, keep the lower back nice and flat. And we might stay here in a little relaxed happy baby. Or if it feels good, we're going to bring the soles of the feet parallel to the ceiling. And we can either hold on to the calves, shins, ankles, inner arches of the feet, or we can interlock the middle and index finger around the big toes. Again, check in that we're not rocking and rolling on that lower back. As we inhale, we're going to press the soles of the feet up toward the ceiling, nice and active. And as we exhale, we're going to draw those knees down toward the ground. So we're inhaling, pressing up. Exhale, draw down a little bit more. So continue with your own breath here. Again, if the elbows come inside the knees, you can always use them as an extra little prop to get into the hips, but don't force them. So only if they come naturally. One more breath here. So feeling that into the hips and hamstrings. Lovely. We're going to gently release our grip, hug those knees back into the chest. We're going to crisscross at the ankles and take 3 or 4 rolls forward and back along the mat if it feels good. If not, you can come right up to seat. Again, just using that motion to massage the full length of the spine into the ground. And when you've taken your 3 or 4 rolls, we're going to engage with the core to bring ourselves to seat. From here, we're going to stay sitting and just make sure you have your towel within reach. So I'm just going to turn to face you. We're going to extend both legs out in front. And again, just shift the flesh of the bum away so we can feel nice and grounded in those hip bones. We're going to hug the right knee in toward the chest, and we're going to rest that right foot into the left hand, right knee into the right hand. Draw the right toe toward the knee to help protect that knee joint. And then if it feels good, we want to keep that length in the spine. And if we can maintain that length, we're going to draw that chin a little bit higher so it's almost in line with the chest. Again, not if we're dumping into the lower back. If we're dumping, just keep the foot nice and low and think about pressing the chest forward. And then we're going to gently rock into that right hip. So nice, slow, controlled movements. Drawing the knee right back into our bow and arrow, and then drawing the leg across the body, feeling it into that right hip and glute. So again, you have full control of the movement. So we're not going super deep, just really mobilizing into that right hip joint. The slower the better, so that we can really notice any little niggles, and we can iron out any little points of resistance to the movement. And then gently we're going to meet back in center. We're going to place the sole of that right foot toward the inner thigh. Again, if you need to reset those sit bones. We're going to bend into that left knee. And again, we're going to grab for our towel. Again, working into those hamstrings. Wrapping it around the ball of the left foot, sitting nice and tall into the spine, draw the shoulders back. And we're going to press away through the left heel, nice and active. Body is facing toward that left foot. As we inhale, lifting through the spine. And as we exhale, we're gently going to press the chest forward. So the bend is happening from the lower back, not the upper back, not the middle back. So keep the chest open. We might even get that low. We might walk those hands along the tail. And again, where you feel it in the hamstring is in the belly. If you need to bring a little bend into that left knee, please do. So we're inhale, lengthening through the spine, and as we exhale, gently hinging from that lower back. So we're thinking about pressing the chest toward the foot as opposed to touching the foot itself. So keeping that openness in the heart, keeping that length in the spine, every exhale getting a little bit deeper. And when we can't go any deeper, we're going to let go of that tail, and we should be able to hold it here. So again, we're using the strength with the stretch. We can rest those hands onto the calf or onto the upper leg, wherever we're at. As we inhale, draw the chest long or the spine long. As we exhale, draw that chest toward the foot. One more breath here. And then gently release it back to center. We can remove the towel off to the side. We're going to place that right hand behind us, fingertips point back. We're going to inhale the left arm up toward the ceiling. And as we exhale, we're going to press those hips toward the ceiling. As we press the right knee, right hand, left foot into the ground. See if we can really activate that left arm, reaching back through the fingertips, pressing the hips up as much as we can. Take the gaze back if it feels okay in the neck. Hold it here, opening into the front of the body for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale back to center. As we exhale, we're going to reach forward to touch that left toe. We don't have to actually touch it, we're just reaching in that direction. Inhale, up, extend that left arm back overhead. And then exhale, reach forward through those left fingertips in the direction of that left foot. Little flow here. Inhale, press the hips toward the ceiling, extend that left arm back overhead. Exhale, reach those left fingertips toward the foot. 2 more. Inhale, hips up, release it back. Exhale, reach it forward. Last one. Full opening into the front of the body. And then exhale, release it to the front. Excellent. Slowly back to center. We're going to extend that right foot out to meet left. Same thing on the other side. We're going to hug the left knee in. We're going to rest the left foot into the right hand, left knee into the left hand. And again, we're going to draw that toe toward the knee to protect that knee joint. Sitting nice and tall in the spine. If we can get that shin almost parallel to the chest or just below, but again, keep that openness into the heart so we're not dumping into that lower back. And then we're going to gently rock into that left hip. Nice and slowly, control the movement, drawing the knee back, feeling that space into the hip, and as we draw the leg across the body, feeling that nice release into the glute. So again, just a little mobilization with our twist. And again, drop the foot. If you start to feel yourself collapsing into the lower back, just drop the foot until you can get that length in the spine again. So when we're twisting into the spine, we want to twist it when it's nice and elongated and not in that kind of slumped over position. So keep those core muscles nice and strong. One more. Brilliant. We're going to rest the sole of the foot to the inner right thigh. Again, adjust the sit bones if you need. Little bend to that right knee to start with. And again, you might keep that bend in the right knee depending on how those hamstrings feel. We're going to wrap that towel around the ball of the right foot, holding on to either end. Draw the shoulders back, chest forward. Press it away through that right heel. And again, we might stay here. That might be enough. We're turning the body slightly in the direction of that right foot. As we inhale, lengthen through the spine. And as we exhale, we're hinging from the lower back, okay? So it's not this kind of movement, it's more open the heart and try to keep that, almost imagining you have a bar from your neck down to your lower back. We're trying to keep that length here. Again, you might walk those hands along the tail. You might shift that right hip back a little bit, see how that feels. Again, inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hinge a little bit deeper. All the time, drawing that right toe toward the face. And then from here, when we can't go any further, we're just going to let go of the grip of that towel and rest those hands onto the leg wherever they're at. Again, we're inhale, lengthening, and then we're exhale, folding a little bit deeper, but using that strength of the muscle to work into the stretch. One more breath. Excellent. Slowly roll it back to center. We can remove the towel out of the way for now. Left hand comes behind us, fingertips point back. We're going to inhale, right arm up. And as we exhale, we're going to press the hips toward the ceiling as we press the left knee, right foot, left hand into the ground. Extend really actively through that right arm, right back through the fingertips. Maybe take the gaze up if it feels good on the neck. Inhale, press those hips a little bit more. As we exhale, really extend that right arm back for 2, And one. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, reach forward to touch that right foot. Inhale, hips up. Extend that right arm back overhead. Exhale, reach forward, hinge from that lower back. Inhale, hips up. Extend the right arm back overhead. Exhale, reach forward. Last one. Lovely, and then slowly drop back to center. From here, we're going to crisscross at the ankles and just come on to all fours into our tabletop at the front of the mat. So again, check in with our tabletop. Knees are about hip-width distance apart and directly underneath the hips. If the knees feel cranky, you can always tuck the toes under, otherwise keep them nice and flat here. Hands are really spread, so think about our roots of our trees. Spreading those fingers nice and wide, shoulders over elbows over wrists, elbow creases face forward. And we're literally pressing into the ground until we feel those shoulder muscles engage. So we're not dumping into the shoulders, nice and strong in the upper body. Notice if the belly's dropped or if we're slumping into the lower back. I want you to really focus on tucking that belly button to the back of the spine. Feel that lovely release. A few little cat-cow curls here. We're going to inhale, press the chest forward, gaze up toward the ceiling, arching through the spine. Exhale, press into the ground, curl through the spine, take the gaze back toward the belly. Inhale, gaze goes forward and up, arching the spine. Exhale, press into the ground, curl through the spine, and really stretch between the shoulders. Inhale, forward and up, little bend to the elbows. Exhale, curling through and release. Continue with your own breath. So again, really just exploring that movement in the spine, maybe closing down the eyes and just focusing in on how it feels as opposed to what it looks like. And we're thinking about working the whole length of the spine. So when we tuck that chin in, feel that lovely stretch into the neck, into the shoulders, middle back, lower back. So again, just mobilizing, creating energy, heat, blood flow. So the lovely thing about our twists, so even though this is more like a wave-like motion, but just creating that space, particularly into the spine. So twists are good in all parts of the body. And again, it's really a good way of just reminding the body of that movement it can do, and it doesn't do so much. And often it's when we injure ourselves is in that twisting moment or that twisting movement where our body isn't quite familiar with it. So it resists it. So if we can encourage the body to get into those twists and rotations and those mobilizations, we've hopefully help ourselves reduce the impact of those twists then when they go wrong. One last wave. Excellent, and coming back to center. So we're going to do a similar little one to what we did on Tuesday if you were with me. We're going to keep the left hand at the center. You can bring those knees a little bit wider until you feel a nice little release in between the hips. And then we're going to flip the right palm to face us. And then we're going to inhale the right arm up toward the ceiling, opening the heart nice and wide. So we can keep that right arm extended, or we can bend the right arm and bring the flat of the back hand to the lower back and just draw that right shoulder back a little bit more. Take the gaze up toward the shoulder, toward the ceiling. Hold for 3, for 2, and 1. Extend the right arm up if it's not there already. As we exhale, we're going to tread the right arm underneath the left, resting the right shoulder onto the ground and really reaching as far away with those right fingertips as we can to the left. So we're kind of creeping that right shoulder underneath the body. So any of the pressure is taken off the neck and it's into that arm and shoulder. We can keep the left hand where it is, or we can inhale that left arm up toward the ceiling. And as we exhale, extend the left arm out in front. Stay nice and high on the fingertips. So keep the arm nice and active. We're pressing the ground away out front. See if we can take the gaze up underneath the left armpit and really draw that left shoulder back. We're going to hold it here for 3, for 2, and 1. Staying in the pose, we're going to come onto the ball of that left foot, press away through the heel and just open the body a little bit more. So really drawing that left shoulder back for 3, press back through the left heel for 2, and 1. Gently release the left knee down. Left hand comes back to the front of the mat. We're going to inhale that right arm up toward the ceiling one more time. See if you have a little bit more to give in that twist. And then gently right hand comes to meet the left. Right hand comes to center, left palm flips to face us. We're going to inhale that left arm up toward the ceiling, again opening the heart. Pressing that right hand into the ground, see if we can get a little bit more twist into the spine. From here, we're going to bend the left elbow, bring the back of the hand to rest on the lower back, and then use that connection to draw the heart open a little bit more. Maybe taking the gaze up toward the ceiling if it feels okay on the neck. Hold it here. Opening the heart for 3, for 2, and 1. Extend that left arm back, overhead. And as we exhale, we're going to tread the left arm underneath the right, resting the left shoulder and left ear to the ground. And then we're going to reach actively through those left fingertips as far as we can to the right. Try to keep the fingers in line with the shoulder here. So we're taking the pressure off the neck. Again, we might stay here, just pressing that right hand into the ground, or we might inhale that right arm up toward the ceiling. And as we exhale, extend the right arm out in front, staying high in the fingertips. Drawing that right shoulder back, opening the heart, maybe taking the gaze up underneath that armpit if it feels okay. If you're feeling it in the neck, again, we're pressing that left arm and shoulder into the ground to lighten the load into the head and neck. Hold for 3, for 2, and 1. Lifting off the right knee, we're going to come onto the ball of that right foot, pressing away through the heel. Hold it here, open the heart a little bit more, extend that gaze up a little bit more for 3, for 2, and 1. Gently release the right knee down. We're going to bring that right hand back to the front of the mat. Slowly with control, we're going to inhale that left arm up toward the ceiling. One more time, nice big opening. And then exhale, left hand comes to meet the right, lovely. Bringing the hands right to the front of the mat, really spreading through the fingers. We're going to tuck the toes under and we're going to sit back toward the heels. Feel that lovely stretch into the arches of the feet. So really pressing the ground away actively. Feel those shoulder blades activate. From here, pressing the hands into the ground. We're going to lift off the knees, draw the hips toward the ceiling as high as we can go. And as we exhale, we're going to draw those heels toward the ground. So check in here with our downward dog. So the hands, fingers are nicely spread. Any of the pressure is only in the finger pads and knuckles. So try to stay nice and light on the wrists, even if it means making a little grip, kind of claw-like motions with the fingers until you feel that ease. We're going to press the chest toward the ground, activate those shoulder blades, lift the hips a little bit higher, engage the quad muscles to get a little bit more space into the backs of the legs. So we're engaging the fronts of the legs to stretch into the backs of the legs, and then gently walk it out. Nice and easy. Allow opposite heel melt toward the ground. All the time pressing the ground away out front. Drawing the chest toward the ground. Gazes back toward the belly, maybe toward the knees. Nice relaxedness in the neck here. And then come into stillness in our downward dog. Bring the feet a little bit wider than hip width distance apart. We're going to reach back with that left hand to catch hold of the outer right leg. So it could be the thigh, it could be the calf, it could be all the way down to the ankle. Keep pressing back through the heels, and we're going to take that gaze up underneath the right armpit, coming into a little gentle twist in the lower back. Hold it here. Still pressing the ground away with that right hand. For 3, for 2, and 1. Left hand comes back to me, right, readjust. We're going to reach back with those right fingertips to catch hold of the outer left leg. Again, taking the gaze up underneath the left armpit, drawing the heels down, hips up, pressing the ground away through that left hand and arm for 3. Really draw the body for 2. And 1. Right hand comes back to meet left, looking forward toward the front of the mat. We're going to gently walk to the front of the mat, nice and slowly. Coming into a nice wide-legged forward fold. So nice and wide until you can touch the fingertips down easily onto the mat, but keep a little extension in behind the legs. Always a tiny little bend into the knee, so we're never fully locking out. Nice and relaxed here, drawing the chest forward, keeping the spine nice and long. We're going to keep the left fingertips on the ground, looking at that right palm, and we're going to inhale the left arm up toward the ceiling, opening the heart as much as we can. Feel that lovely release into the inner left thigh. Draw that right shoulder back. Take the gaze up toward the ceiling if it feels okay. Using that connection of the left fingertips on the ground, we're going to see if we can lever our way a little bit deeper into that twist. Weight is back into the heels and hips for 3, for 2, And 1. Exhale, release, forward fold. Same on the other side. Left arm up and open. Again, really draw that left shoulder back. Taking the gaze up if it feels good. Using that connection of the right fingertips to press away a little bit deeper into that twist. Weight into heels and hips. You should be able to wiggle the toes quite easy here for 3, for 2, and 1. Exhale, release. Little flow here. Inhale, right arm up and open. Exhale, release and fold. Inhale, left arm up and open. Gaze goes up. Exhale, release. Inhale, right arm up and open. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left arm up and open. Exhale, release. Continue with your own breath. Both sides, nice and slowly. Keep it going. A little notification here on my laptop. There we go. And again, as you exhale, just side upright out through the lips and let it go. So just think about yourself nearly collapsing into that fold. One more, both sides. Lovely. And then just let everything fall toward the ground and let gravity take its toll and let the head and neck relax, shoulders relax, arms relax. We're going to tuck the chin in and we're going to slowly roll our way up to stand. Head comes up last, nice and easy. Lovely. Take a wee drink if you need it. We're going to get a little bit more flowy into our sun salutations next. So again, just starting with another nice little side bend before we get into our salutations. So we're going to come to the front of the mat, feet nicely grounded, hands to heart. We're going to step that right foot over the left. And then we're going to inhale the right, or both arms up, interlocking the fingers overhead apart from the pointing finger, apart from the index finger. So we're interlocking, making a kind of little gun shape here. We're going to inhale, stretch the full length of the body. And as we exhale, we're going to hinge to the left as far as we can go. Try to keep those arms back in line with the ears, so we're always opening into the chest, engaging those shoulder muscles. As we inhale, again, extend through the arms, nice and active. As we exhale, see if we can hinge a little bit more to the left. So we're lengthening both sides, but we're just getting a bonus stretch into the right side. So try not to totally collapse into that left side. One more breath here. Inhale, lengthening through the arms. Exhale, hinging just a little bit more. And then inhale back to center. And then exhale, release, hands to heart. We're going to bring those feet back in line. Same on the other side. We're going to cross the left leg over the right. Inhale, both arms out, reaching up. Palms together, we're going to interlock all fingers apart from our index finger and thumb. Inhale, reach. And as we exhale, we're going to hinge to the right, pressing those hips to the left. Again, try to draw those arms back in line with the ears so they're not reaching out front. Engage those shoulder muscles, open the heart. Inhale, lengthen through the arms as much as we can, both sides. Exhale, hinge a little bit more to the right. One more breath here. Inhale, lengthen through the arms. Exhale, hinge a little bit deeper. And then inhale gently back to center. And then exhale, release. Lovely. Okay, got to get a wee bit more flowy here. Feet nicely grounded, hands to heart. Press the chest forward, draw the shoulders back. A little bit of engagement to the tummy muscles here, the legs, the hips. We're going to inhale, arms out, reaching up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins, nice flat back. Really pressing the chest forwards. Exhale, fold. Stepping right foot back to lunge, left foot to meet it. Hold it here, nice strong plank. If you need to come to the knees, by all means do, but keep the core strong, the spine long. Shoulders over elbows over wrists, elbow creases face forward, and we're literally pressing the ground away. So try not to dump into those shoulders. Pressing back through the heels for 3, for 2, and 1. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the mat. Roll the heart forward, untuck the toes, press the feet into the ground as we draw those shoulders back. Exhale, tuck the toes, press the ground away, downward dog. Walk it out, nice little upside down V here. Think about those hips aiming toward the ceiling, those heels and heart aiming toward the ground. We're going to inhale that right leg up, looking forward, stepping right foot into lunge with control. Left foot to meet it. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up through center, hands extended up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping left foot back to lunge, right foot to meet it. Again, hold it here, nice strong plank. For 3, for 2, and 1. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the mat. Keep those elbows tucked in, roll the heart forward. Press those feet into the ground as we draw the shoulders back. Exhale, tuck the toes, press the ground away, downward dog. Walk it out nice and easy. Relax that head and neck. So gaze is back toward the knees. Try not to stretch the gaze forward. I know it's hard when you're watching me, but really try to focus just relaxing that spine here. We're going to inhale the left leg up, looking forward, stepping left foot into lunge. Right foot to meet it. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up through center. Hands extended up. Exhale, hands to heart. Second round, when you're ready, same starting position, feet nicely grounded, hip width distance apart. Really feeling all corners of the feet into the mat, hands to heart. Inhale, arms out, reaching up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping right foot back to lunge, left foot to meet it. Inner plank, this time we're going to bring the right hand to the center of the mat. And we're going to reach that right leg underneath the left as far as we can to the left. And then we're going to fall over onto the outer blade of that right foot and the inner blade of the left foot. So that right hand is grounded. And then extend that left arm up toward the ceiling. Loads of directions there. If you need to look, it might be easier. We're going to press the hips up toward the ceiling, opening the heart. We're going to hold it here, really drawing that left shoulder back. Take the gaze up if it feels good. For 3, for 2, and 1. Left hand comes back to meet right. We're going to bring that right foot back in line. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Left hand comes toward the center of the mat. We're going to bring that left leg underneath the right, as far to the right as we can, staying on the outer blade of that left foot, falling over onto the inner arch of that right foot, and then extending the right arm up toward the ceiling, opening the heart, pressing the hips toward the ceiling, taking the gaze up if it feels good. For 3, for 2, and 1. Right hand comes back to meet left. We're going to bring that left foot back to meet right. Lovely. Inhale here in our plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the ground. Roll the heart forward, untuck the toes, press the feet into the ground, lift the chest forward. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward dog. Walking it out nice and easy. Notice where the breath is at. Notice if you're holding it, if it's caught up in the chest, really try to draw that breath deep into the belly. We're going to inhale, right leg up, looking forward, stepping right foot into lunge. Left foot to meet it. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up through center. Hands extended up. Exhale, swan dive, fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping left foot back to lunge, right foot to meet it. Staying here in our plank. Again, if you need to come to the knees, by all means do. We're going to inhale center, and as we exhale, we're going to allow the outer blade of that left foot drop to the mat, so we're kind of twisting from the lower back. Inhale center, exhale, outer blade of the right foot drops toward the ground. Inhale center, exhale left, inhale center, exhale right. Continue 2 more both sides. Control the movement. Nice and strong, pressing the ground away through those arms. 1 more both sides. Excellent. Coming back to our plank, we're going to exhale, knees, chest, chin to the ground. Roll the heart forward, untuck the toes, press the feet into the ground, roll those shoulders back. Exhale, tuck the toes, press the ground away, downward dog. Nice and easy, walk it out. Relax the head, relax the neck. Keep those hips lifted. Keep pressing the ground away out front as we draw the chest toward the mat. We're going to inhale that left leg up, looking forward, stepping left foot into lunge. Right foot to meet it. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up through center, hands extended up. Exhale, hands to heart. Last round with a couple of wee variations thrown in. So again, starting at the front of the mat, feet grounded, hands to heart. Draw those shoulders back together, almost like we're trying to hold something between the shoulder blades. Notice if the belly's getting lazy here, we want to suck that belly button toward the back of the spine. Feel that lower back release, core engage, glutes engage. Relax the breath. Inhale, arms out, reaching up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping right foot back to lunge, we're going to keep the right hand grounded. Really press back through that right heel. Inhale, left arm up toward the ceiling, opening the heart. If you need to come to that right knee, please do. Otherwise, we're pressing back through that right heel, pressing that right hand into the ground. We're going to bend at the elbow and bring the back of that hand to rest in the lower back. Use that connection, gently pressing into the lower back to draw that left shoulder back, opening the heart, maybe taking the gaze up toward the ceiling if it feels good. If you want to get a little bit deeper into the hip here, you can come a little bit onto the outer blade of that left foot, only if it feels stable. Hold it here for 3, really twisting through the body for 2, and 1. Left hand comes back to meet right, and then gently step that left foot back to meet right in plank. Inhale here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga if you're practicing to the ground. Keep those elbows in. Draw the chest forward, untuck the toes. Press the feet into the ground, draw the heart open as we draw the shoulders back. Exhale, tuck the toes. Downward dog, nice and easy. From here, we're going to inhale that right leg up. We're going to bend the right knee. And then we're going to open the hips to the right side of the room. So really press back through the sole of that right foot. We should be able to look underneath the left armpit and see that foot hanging out. Draw the left heel toward the ground as we draw that right knee a little bit higher. Really actively pressing into both hands evenly to the front of the mat. Hold it here. Lift that knee a little bit more. Press back through the sole of the foot a little bit more for 3. Open the heart for 2. And 1. Back to 3-legged dog. Look 4 between the hands. We're going to step that right foot into lunge. Left foot to meet it. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up through center. Hands extended up. Exhale, swan dive, fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping left foot back to lunge, keep that left hand grounded. Press back through the heel again. If you need to come down to the left knee, by all means do. We're going to inhale that right arm up toward the ceiling, opening the heart, extending through the fingertips. Nice and active with that back leg, really pressing back through the heel. Pressing that left arm actively into the ground. We're going to bend at the elbow, bring the back of the hand to rest to that lower back. Use that connection to peel the heart open just a little bit more, draw on the shoulder back. Gaze goes up if it feels okay on the neck, and maybe coming onto the outer blade of that right foot, only if it feels stable in the hips and knee. Hold it here. Press back through the left heel for 3, for 2, and 1. Slowly releasing that right hand back to meet left. Stepping the right foot back to meet left into our plank. Inhale here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga to the ground. Elbows in, roll the heart forward. Press those feet into the ground as we draw the shoulders back. Exhale, tuck the toes. Downward dog. Walk it out, nice and easy. Coming to stillness here, we're going to inhale that left leg up. Bend the left knee, and then open the hips to the left side of the room. As we press back through the sole of that left foot, should be able to see that foot hanging out if we look underneath the right armpit. Draw the right heel down. We're going to lift that left knee a little bit higher. Feel the glute engage. Press the arms evenly into the mat out in front. Hold it here. Keep drawing the heel down. Keep drawing the knee up. Pressing back through the sole of that foot for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale back to 3-legged dog. Look 4 between the hands. We're going to step that left foot into lunge. Right foot to meet it. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up through center. Hands extended up. Exhale, hands to heart. Well done. Take a wee drink if you need it. We've got one last little twisty sequence. So hopefully feeling a little bit more energized from all that twist and release. We're going to meet at the front of the mat. This time we're going to have the feet together, knees together. So slightly different start. We're going to inhale the arms out, reaching up until the arms are back by the ears. I want you to imagine that you're holding a globe, a ball between the palms, but you're not quite getting there, okay? So feel that kind of magnetism of the palms toward each other, but they're not quite touching. From here, we're going to sit back into a little chair pose. So I want you to bring that weight back into the heels and hips. Try to draw the knees back as far as we can in line with the heels, so they're not coming forward here. So again, really throwing it back, almost like there's a little chair behind you that you're not too sure, should I sit down or not? Again, notice here, if we're dumping into the lower back, I want you to tuck the belly button in so the ribs aren't flaring. If it feels a little bit uncomfortable in the shoulders, you can always open the arms into cactus arms. We're trying to keep a nice straight spine here. So again, if you think about pressing back into the lower back, just feel that release. We're going to hold it here for 3, for 2, and 1. Hands come to heart. We're going to inhale, lengthen through the spine. As we exhale, we're going to twist to the right, and we're going to rest that left arm onto the right thigh. Press the hands together in prayer, hands face forward, and that right elbow points toward the ceiling. See if we can literally glue those knees together. So often that left knee is going to want to track out in front. I want you to draw it back and really use the strength of the hips here. Pressing that left arm into the leg, see if we can create a wee bit more space between the belly and the leg. Gaze goes up if it feels good. We're going to hold for 3, for 2, and 1. From here, we're going to come onto the ball of that left foot, and then we're going to gently, with control, try to hold the twist and land onto that left knee with control. If you need to come out and come back in, that's totally fine. Again, staying in our twist here, keep pressing that left arm into the leg. We might hold it here for the next few breaths, or if you want to join me, a little bit more balance, we're going to press the left ball of the foot into the ground, lift off that left knee, and press back through the heel, holding our twist. Again, drawing that right shoulder back, really opening the heart to the right side of the room. Gaze goes up if it feels okay in the neck. Hold it here for 3, for 2, and 1. Release the left knee down. Staying in our twist, we're going to inhale off the leg. So we're turning to the right side of the room. We're going to open the arms nice and wide, both palms face the right side. And then we're going to rest that right hand onto the back of the left thigh. And then inhale, left arm up toward the ceiling. As we exhale, we're going to press the hips forward as we extend that left arm back overhead. Taking the gaze back over the shoulder if it feels okay. Keep that left arm really active. Keep drawing the hips forward. If the knee goes slightly in front of the right heel here, it's fine. Feel that lovely release into the left side of the waist for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale back to center, arms wide open. Exhale here. And then inhale, hands back to the front of the mat. We're going to bring both hands to cradle that right foot, coming off the left knee, pressing back through that left heel. Hold it here in our low lunge. Keep the spine long, keep the heart open. Allow those hips melt toward the ground. If you need to release onto the left knee, please do. For 3, for 2, and 1. We're going to step that right foot back to meet left into our plank. Inhale here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga to the ground. Baby cobra or upward dog. Open the heart, draw the shoulders back. Press the feet into the ground. Exhale, downward dog. Come into stillness here in our downward dog. We can either step or lightly jump to the front of the mat. If we're jumping, we're looking to where we want those feet to land in between the hands. We're going to spring load at the knees, keep the hips lifted, keep the core strong, and then gently land to the front of the mat as easy, as softly as we can. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to center, hands extended up. Exhale, hands to heart. Same little sequence on the other side. So again, feet and knees are glued together to start with. Relax the breath. Inhale, arms out, reaching up. Allow those arms frame the ears. Again, imagining that globe or that ball between your hands, magnetizing the palms toward each other, but never quite touching. And then from here, throw the weight back into the heels and hips. We're going to gently sit back into that imaginary chair. Again, notice if the ribs are flaring out here. Think about pressing that lower back against something. So engaging the core muscles here, trying to maintain that flatness in the spine. Should be able to wiggle the toes quite easy here. See if you can throw the weight back. So it doesn't matter so much how low you go. I want you to really focus on keeping the spine strong and long, maybe opening into the heart here if it feels good. So it's a nice long spine. Think about that. Not that we want poles for spines, but we're trying to keep that length. So we spend a lot of time crunching into the spine, particularly into the anterior. Okay, so we want to really strengthen the spine here. Lovely. We're going to bring the hands to heart center. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And as we exhale, we're going to twist to the left. Resting that right arm onto the left thigh. Prayer hands face forward. Left elbow points toward the ceiling. See if we can draw that left shoulder back a little bit more, pressing the right arm into the leg. See if we can create a little bit of space between the belly and the leg. Draw that shoulder back a little bit more. Maybe take the gaze up. Hold it here. Glue those knees together. Again, that right knee is going to want to shift forward. Engage those hips for 3, for 2, and 1. Excellent. Staying in our twist, we're going to come onto the ball of that right foot. With control, try to save the twist if you can and land as gently as we can onto that right knee. Any little adjustments you need. Again, we're back in our twist. We're pressing that right arm into the leg. See if you can draw the left shoulder back a little bit more. Use that standing leg. Again, you can hold it here, or we might press into the ball of that right foot, lifting off the right knee. Again, staying in our twist. Pressing back through the right heel. If you find you've got the knee off the ground and you're rocking and rolling all over the place and you're feeling unstable, come back onto the knee. Re-engage with that twist, re-engage with the core, and then try coming back off the knee. So again, you don't want to be putting any lateral pressures onto the knee here. So we want to really press back through the heel for 3, for 2, and 1. Rest the right knee down. We're going to inhale the right leg off, or the right arm off the leg, staying in our twist, hands to heart to start with. And then we're going to open the palms to the left side of the room, really extending through the arms here. And again, we can stay here just working that left shoulder back, or we might rest that left hand on the back of the right thigh. Inhale the right arm up toward the ceiling. And as we exhale, press the hips forward as we reach back through that right arm, through the fingertips, nice and active, maybe taking the gaze over the left shoulder. See if we can keep the tummy muscles engaged so we're not totally dumping into that lower back. Again, really releasing into the front of that right hip. All along the lats, all along the right side of the body. For 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale back to center, arms wide open. Exhale here. Inhale, turn to the front, hands to heart, and then framing that left foot with the hands. We're going to come off the right knee, press back through the right heel into our low lunge. Again, if you need to come to the fingertips, please do. Just allow those hips sink toward the ground for a couple of more breaths. Relax the spine, relax the breath, press back through the right heel for 3, for 2, and 1. Lovely. We're going to, with control, step that left foot back to meet right into our plank. Inhale here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin or chaturanga to the ground. Maybe cobra or upward dog. Press those feet into the ground, open the heart, draw the shoulders back. Exhale, tuck the toes. Downward dog. Walk it out, nice and easy. Well done. Nice relaxed downward dog here. Maybe bringing a little swagger into our walk. So just rocking the hips side to side. Feel that extra little twist and rotation throughout the spine, particularly that lower back. Maybe looking out underneath opposite armpits, bringing that twist right up into the neck. Getting a nice little stretch and release. And then gently, coming back to center, we're going to rest those knees down, coming onto the forearms, untuck the toes, bring the toes to touch, and then bring those knees nice and wide apart. We're going to press the ground away out in front until we can get those sit bones as far back onto the heels or toward the heels as we can. And then we're going to pile one hand on top of the other, rest the forehead onto the hands and a little pillow, Or if it doesn't quite get there, we can pile one fist on top of the other. So you just want to take any pressure out of the head and neck here. Use those hands on the ground to, again, use that friction to really press those sit bones back, or those sit bones back toward the heels. So we want to feel that in the hips, into the lower body, into the lower back. And then just gently rock the hips side to side, nice and easy. Don't worry about the breath where it's at. Just allow the body knead its way out here. A little self-massage into the hips, the lower back, the glutes. Slow the movement right down until we've come to stop. So just a nice little relaxed child's pose here. Notice if you're still holding on to any tension, any niggles within the body. And it mightn't be in the hips, it mightn't be in those glutes, it might be in the face, it might be in the arms and the fists. So again, don't ignore that niggle. It might be a thought that just keeps popping into your head. So acknowledge it, shelf it. And as you exhale, just release and let it go. Just sigh it out with the breath. And sometimes even inhaling, tensing into that spot, really embracing it. And then on the exhale, just sigh it out and let it go. So just take a couple of more breaths here until you feel the body, the mind, the breath are all in line, all in tune. Even if it is just for these couple of moments on the mat. Remember that feeling. And then when you're ready, we're going to gently press the hands into the ground, tuck the chin in toward the chest. And then we're going to walk those hands back toward the body as we sit back up onto the heels, nice and slowly. And then we can shift those knees toward each other. And we can either finish here sitting back on the heels, we can come to an easy cross-legged seat, or we can come to any little variation that feels good for us. So just nice and relaxed. Still feel that nice space and length into the spine, that nice little strength, a little bit of energy. We're going to open the palms to the ceiling, draw the shoulders up toward the ears, and then draw them together down the spine. Again, touch in with that nice strong core, really sucking the belly button back toward the spine. When you're ready, 3 closing breaths. We're going to inhale, arms out, reaching up. Interlock fingers, press palms to ceiling. As we exhale, press the palms forward and just sigh that breath out through the lips and let it go. We'll do 2 more like that. Nice big full circular breaths. Exhale, release. Last one. And then gently bring the hands to heart center, press the palms together, close down the eyes, and just thank yourselves for creating a wee bit of space in your Friday morning to come to the mat, to look after yourselves, to create some lovely strength, some lovely energy, and hopefully take that with you into the weekend ahead. And thank you as always for sharing your energy with me. Namaste.